News came out this week that Peter Jackson is putting out a new Lord of the Rings movie, tentatively titled The Hunt for Gollum. Today, we discuss potential directions this movie might take.
So sit back, crack open a cold, juicy, sweet fish, and let us speculate. This has been out for a few days, and lots of people have commented on it, but we're going to do our little shtick, talking about The Hunt for Gollum, which is the new... It's not just Peter Jackson, but the whole Peter Jackson and his entourage are going to make this film, so there's high hopes that it'll actually be good.
Yeah, okay, so I look at The Lord of the Rings, I'm thinking, freaking awesome. And then I look at The Hobbit, I'm like, well...
Right. So that actually doesn't bode too well, because they took a trilogy of books and made it a 3-part movie, and it was amazing.
Right.
Then they took one book and made it a 3-part movie, and it wasn't,
So they're going to take a 15-minute fan film and turn it into like a 3-hour movie.
Well, they're going to take a little bit of a few paragraphs from the appendix and turn it into like a... Are they really doing a 3-hour?
I don't know. I you know, and honestly, I wouldn't doubt it, but that's just the cynic in me.
Right.
Okay, so the one thing that Andy Serkis is back on board, and apparently he's directing it. Am I correct in saying that?
Or was it Peter Jackson? I don't know.
No, Peter Jackson is going to be producing.
Okay.
And Weta and everything's going to be involved in that, but Andy Serkis is going to be the director.
Okay.
Which I'm fine with. I mean, I think
might be good. Might be cool. I have a few predictions, actually.
Okay. Gollum escapes in the end.
Gollum dies in the end. Since Gollum will be the main character of this, he will have to be somehow rehabilitated, because in the Lord of the Rings, his finding of the ring starts with a murder. And I think check it out. I'm gonna make this prediction now. See if my clout chips are on the table. Okay, so you know how I'm not a big Star Wars fan, but didn't George Lucas redo the Star Wars where he makes Greedo shoot first or something like that?
It's called retcon.
Yeah, I know. And, so the retcon is Greedo shoots first, so it's okay that Han Solo kills Greedo, right?
Right. No, I honestly, I have enough faith in Serkis and Peter Jackson that they will not try to rehabilitate Gollum.
But wait. Okay, so hold that thought.
Okay,
just hear me out though.
I'm hearing out.
Because Gollum is now the main character. You're going to have him be somewhat sympathetic. And he can't just be a freaking murderer.
But Gollum won't be the main character, though. It's the hunt for Gollum.
But won't Gollum be? I mean, it's freaking Andy Serkis. Andy Serkis.
Right.
Gollum is Andy Serkis's baby.
Yes, but in Godzilla, is Godzilla ever the main character? Godzilla is shows up for 10 minutes in the film. It's just
so you think it's going to be that? See, when I heard this, I was like, oh, this is going to be like a Gollum vehicle, because he's such a loved character.
No.
He's going to become the main character. It's going to almost be from his perspective. I mean, this is probably now that you mention it, an unlikely scenario. But in my mind, I was thinking they're going to do a Greedo shoots first thing, where it's actually Deagle started attacking Smeagol, and Smeagol accidentally kills. And check it out. So the hunt for Gollum might not just be Aragorn hunting Gollum. The hunt for Gollum might be Gollum's mom and Gollum's sisters and brothers and all the Stoors that live on the side of the Anduin are going to hunt for Gollum, because, hey, where'd Gollum go? He disappeared, and everyone's going to be hunting for Gollum.
Right. But that would be the hunt for Smeagol.
See, we think that it's a hunt for Gollum, like from the appendix where Aragorn and Gandalf are hunting for Gollum, but this is oh, Gandalf, Gollum put on the ring and he's invisible. He's invisible, and he stole some bread.
So here's what.
So now they're hunting for Gollum because he stole bread.
Right, but they're bringing back. Okay, it's going to be hard to bring back. Ian Holm as Bilbo.
Wait, is Ian Holm still alive?
Ian Holm is dead.
That would be hard to bring him back then.
So you've got Martin Freeman. You do have Elijah Wood, which again, I don't know if that would come into play. there's a chance to bring back. I mean, Ian McKellen is still around.
Mm,
Um, there's a chance to bring back some beloved characters and kind of,
mm,
I don't think Viggo Mortensen would be called back to be Aragorn because I mean
okay.
I think he's aged out of that. Although
Yeah,
technically
maybe.
he's probably the same
He
age
yeah, actually, he's
as
still too young to
Aragorn.
be
Yeah,
technically, he's still too young to be Aragorn.
right. But I think it would be it's gonna be interesting. You can it's taking place between The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings, obviously,
See,
right?
when they mentioned this, I thought they kinda Disneyfy it, and you'd have instead of Baby Yoda, you'd have, like, Baby Gollum, and he'd be
Yeah.
all
No,
cute.
no, here's what I see. I see like, okay, picture this. Okay, it's Frodo,
Mhm.
Sam, and Gollum on the precipice of the cracks of doom, right? And you see, and Gollum has a ring, and he's jumping around, right? He's like, "Oh, precious," and then it stops, like, and then you'll hear
The
a
voiceover.
voiceover. I bet you're wondering how I got to this point in
Right.
my life.
I bet you're wondering how I got on this
And then
cliff
there's
predicament.
gonna be a rewind, like, it's gonna go like
Rewind the tape,
right, and then it's gonna go way back to the beginning where they're fishing on the riverbed, and
or
Deagle
he's
gets
just gonna
pulled
be
into
a
the
little
water.
baby, and he's like, "I was born on the banks of the Anduin."
Yeah. Um, the one thing though, here's the one thing that kind of bothered me, like, about Andy Serkis's portrayal of Smeagol
Mm.
in, um,
It was
in
very
The Lord of the
slippery. Very slippery
No, 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 no.
performance.
When he had the Gollum voice, right? When
Oh,
he was like, "What does that Deagle," when he
yeah.
was like talking, like, I wish they would have, like, had him have a normal voice to kind of like because
Right.
I'm talking about in the beginning of the was it The Return of the King where they showed, that scene
I think
of
so. It seems like the creepy voice should be like a result of him being tortured by the ring.
oh, yeah, yeah, that's what I'm saying. So,
Yeah.
I think that voice, like, the Gollum voice was wrong for that. I mean, again, it was a minor quibble, but
Right.
I hope that if they go back and show Smeagol before he became Gollum, that Andy Serkis uses his, more normal voice and not
Mhm.
the affected Gollum voice, so
Yeah. I'm still thinking it would the hunt for Gollum would go back to that beginning and to rehabilitate Gollum a little bit. It won't be a strict murder for like almost I mean cuz how it's portrayed in every other version that I've seen is like it's almost this avarice, this lust, this avarice to acquire this birthday present, and he
yeah.
kills his friend over it. And I'm like, they must do something
But you know
to
what, the thing is, again, I know
moralize, remoralize that somehow.
well, I know that you're talking about, like a rehabilitation, but Gollum's kind of a sympathetic character in its own right. I don't think you need to
Right. I mean, you
kind
could
of
say that it's the ring's fault. It's not his fault that he did
yeah,
that.
that's kinda like saying that Anakin Skywalker didn't kill the younglings, if you wanna look at a Star Wars thing. I mean, it's
I don't
like,
know that. I don't know that reference.
okay,
It's
well,
okay. You can still make it.
Anakin,
I'm sure. I'm sure other people
like,
know.
when Anakin when became Darth Vader, he went and killed all, like, the young Jedis in the Jedi Temple, like, all these, like, children.
Oh, right.
So, yeah. So, yeah,
Was that
they
that
can
scene where they're like training with those like floating spheres?
yeah.
Oh, is that
Like,
really? I got
"Hello,
that right?
Master Anakin." Yeah.
Wow, that was a
Yeah,
shot in the
so
dark.
I don't see them, like, doing the Gollum rehabilitation. I mean, again, he's a tragic enough character, and you feel bad for him enough, even
Mm,
in The Lord of the Rings, even in, and again, in the future chapters that we're not talking about
yeah,
today, he there is, like, a you do feel pity for him, and Gandalf and Frodo both felt pity for him because of,
yeah.
the
Well,
burden he
that's a
had to
central theme. Is like, despite this person's, you know, abject, destitute being, that he's still worthy of our sympathy to a certain extent. Um, yeah,
yeah, so
but I still think also that if they're gonna do a full on like cinematic film, the standards are gonna be so high that I just feel like there has to be, you know, Lord of the Rings, the books and the movie are very multifaceted. They're coming from, there's depth, there's historical depth, there's heights and lows and playfulness and mundane things and glorious things.
Yeah.
So, like, in order to achieve that kind of substantive quality, it's going to have, like, again, I see that they're like that hunt. If this working title becomes the title, that hunt for Gollum, I think they'll be like, oh, Gollum's missing. He took the ring. The rings. That hunt will for Gollum, like, even among his immediate peer group, like, where'd Gollum go? He's invisible. He's stealing bread. He's looking under girls' skirts. Where the hell's
Right, right, right.
Gollum? He's gone. He's gone off the deep end. And so, like, these are the hobbits that love him, and also this will give an excuse to populate this new movie with hobbits.
Right, right.
We'll
But
even see
honestly,
Eleanor.
yeah. Honestly, I think you're overthinking this whole
I know.
plot.
I'm totally.
I mean, you're
This,
absolutely overthinking it.
I'm
It's gonna
speculating. It's called
right,
speculative
right.
Tolkienism.
Yeah, no one wants to see Gollum's grandmother trying to find him. Like, you come back here, Deagle.
Like
You know?
chasing him down with a broom.
Yeah, I mean, you might
I
have
want to
like
see that.
maybe
I want to see that though. I do.
you might. I mean, honestly, you might. There might be like a montage of him, which they already have kind of done. You
Yeah.
know, where,
Well,
but
well, there's that scene where after he kills Deagle and he's kind of chased into the mountains and he gets famished and he crawls into the Misty Mountains and he becomes
yeah,
Gollum. That was actually a very poignant montage.
And they did that in kind of both the Bakshi and the
Yeah,
Jackson.
but I'm wanting
You
to
know,
see more of that. I like that.
it would definitely add to like the tragedy of the character.
Right, right. I mean, the other thing is, like, when you talk about the hunt for Gollum, if Gollum isn't the main character would probably have to be Aragorn. If we're talking about the standard hunt for Gollum by Aragorn, and where
Yeah,
he
yeah.
finds him in the dead marshes, that could be a long epic in itself. But they would have to invent so much because it's just mentioned that
No,
he's looking for Gollum for like 17 years at
I-
Gandalf's behest, and only finds him like in the dead marshes. So it's basically going to be just following Aragorn around, like, he'll be smoking a pipe and looking out over
17
the
years.
world and
Like Aragorn is supposed to be the world's greatest tracker. It takes him 17 years to
to
find
find a
somebody,
little right.
to find a little fella.
Good going, Aragorn.
But here's the thing, though. I mean, there's actually you don't really have to invent much. I don't think. I mean, because the hunt for Gollum could imply that the ring wraiths are looking for him.
Like Sauron's looking for him.
Yeah, Saruman's might be looking for him as well. I mean, again, I don't.
Sauron.
Yeah, everybody wants Gollum.
Do
He's
you
like,
think Shelob betrayed? Because shortly after Gollum meets Shelob, he falls into the hands of Sauron. Do you think Shelob kind of like tapped at one of her webs and was like sent a
no,
sent
because
a
I
Morse
don't think.
code to like Barad-dûr? It was like, I
But
found Gollum.
what was the quote? He thinks of her as her pet, but she owns him not, or something like that.
Yeah, I thought that was
Yeah, I don't think.
interesting.
I don't think that Sheila. I think he probably just got pinched by some
Wait,
orcs.
who's pet? They're each other's pet.
Sauron thought of
Oh, right.
Shelob
Sauron thinks of Shelob as right.
and so
Well,
that
that's
being
hailing back to the whole that weird interplay between Sauron and Shelob. If he owns her not, it's kind of like the whole Ungoliant Morgoth
yeah.
dynamic,
Shelob owes no allegiance to Sauron at all. It's just a
right?
kind of a really,
So you think
and
so you think her friendship with Gollum is like a real friendship, like they're buddies.
I think it's a convenience. Like Gollum was probably bringing her orcs, like
Oh,
and
right.
just
I
kind
get it.
of.
Because I was reading about that and I was like wondering like what's in it for Shelob.
Yeah, no, like, yeah. I mean, yeah, no. He probably like brings her food or brings her fresh meat or whatever, and
And then what's in it for Gollum? Like he just has a buddy?
protection. I don't
Oh,
know.
that's good.
Um,
Conversation.
yeah, good conversation.
As most of our viewers would probably already know that the Hunt for Gollum has already been done by is a fairly famous and well received fan film
Yeah,
and
it was
really
really
quite
good.
well done, I think.
Yeah,
So in the fan film, it shows Aragorn. This is our Aragorn from the fan film. Shows him capturing Gollum in a bag, right?
right.
I mean, it just shows a few little glimpses of Gollum, like by the Forbidden Pool, which I think is taken from Jackson. Is that right?
Probably, yeah.
Is that from Jackson?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And then, so that's just like from a distance, and then you see him lying in wait and capturing Gollum in a bag, and I mean, I could understand why this is the case, but you don't really see much of Gollum. You just see the bag.
Right.
They do that for budgeting reasons.
I think they'd probably do that for, yeah, like
So
for
this is
effect.
The Hunt for Gollum starring a burlap sack.
And a guy who looks like he wants to run away, run away.
So I wonder if in this new multi-million-dollar Peter Jackson film,
I think there'll be
if
some
this
sacks
burlap sack
involved.
will make an appearance.
That would be great.
That would be cool.
Yeah, but you know what though? They effectively used a burlap sack in this fan film. I thought it was pretty well done.
No, I mean it's an amazing achievement done with very little budget. Obviously, the person knows how to make a good fan film.
Yeah,
But this burlap sack is quite. It's got a quite a long screen time.
yeah, yeah,
In quote unquote reality, Aragorn captures um, Gollum not in a forest as is here, but in the dead marshes, and then walks with Gollum, takes him all the way up the Anduin to Carrick and the Barronings,
yeah.
and then finally down into Mirkwood to see the king. And yeah, it's a long journey, and I guess this is this. So when I heard that this new movie is going to be made, I was just seeing like they already made it. It's this.
Yeah.
So
This is that movie in a nutshell.
this is that movie. We've already seen that movie. So
But
they'll just have
honestly,
to improve upon that. This.
yeah, honestly, I think uh, they're gonna again. They'll probably have Gandalf interrogating uh, Smeagol. They've got to show like they got to show him in Mordor. You know,
Yeah, they gotta have. But even that was done. Even that was there was a brief scene, wasn't it, where like
yeah, there's a
basically
brief
Gollum was on
scene,
a
but
rack.
yeah, yeah. But honestly, I do think that there. Honestly, I think there's a lot of really cool kind of eye candy that they can do. There's going to be a ton of orcs.
Mm,
It's going to show Mordor at maybe not at its peak, but you know, building up to the war.
yeah.
You know,
Who's going to be
um,
the female interest? I mean, there could be a little bit more of Aragorn and Arwen, but
yeah, yeah.
we already know how that plays out. So I don't know. I just don't see how they're gonna achieve a sense of suspense. Like, how's this gonna end up? Because we know what happens to Gollum. How do you foresee them ending this in any other way that like than Gollum's end in the Lord of the Rings, where he
Well, you know,
falls? And,
Gollum's not going to die, but he gets away somehow. I think it'll be a good movie, but I don't know. I don't see it having the same impact as Lord of the Rings did.
yeah,
And honestly, if they do one movie, that would be, you know, I think that would be cool. Kind of a because they're doing the Rohirrim movie, right?
right. I think the movie they should do is Scouring of the Shire.
Yeah, yeah,
That could be a movie.
right.
You
Or
heard
like
it
a
here
day in the life.
first.
I think they can make any movie kind of cool. They just need to, you know,
Yeah.
do it well. You know,
Oh, well, another group of people that could be hunting for Gollum is like, let's say, you don't know this, but like where Bilbo found Gollum in the cave under the Misty Mountains, um, he might have actually had some friends down there, like orcs, like maybe the librarian who like knew that he had some books out.
right,
And
right.
then one day he's like, he doesn't show up, and like, I'm looking for Gollum. He's got overdue books.
Gollum's going to school. He belongs to a fraternity. You know, he just retcon the shit out of the Misty Mountains. You know what I'm saying?
We gotta do references to like Back to the Future and
right, and and you know, it would be funny is if, is if okay, Smeagol felt so bad that he killed Deagle that he kinda keeps him around like, Weekend at Bernie's,
Oh,
you know what I'm
jeez. Who's the mad scientist in Back to the Future?
Oh god, Doc. Oh gosh,
Oh,
I don't
Doc.
know.
Just Doc, right?
Yeah, Doc Brown. Doc Brown.
Oh, Doc Brown. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's Gandalf is Doc Brown.
yeah. And I was like, yeah, it's like Doc Gray.
Yeah. And the DeLorean is the ring. It's like I've
No,
uncovered
no, no,
this
no.
power.
No, the
Does
DeLorean
amazing
is
things.
no, no. Like we'll take the plot line to Back to the Future 2, where like he gets the sports almanac, and then
Oh,
he's going to take it
right.
back and bet on anything. The ring is a sports almanac.
The
You know
ring
what
is
I'm
the
saying?
sports almanac, right?
Right. So
So
that
it
can
it allows
yeah.
him to get rich, basically.
Yeah, yeah, control like get all the girls,
Get
eat
all the
fish 3
girls,
times a day.
know everyone's secrets.
Yeah, yeah. So he that's the key. The key
Yeah,
is like the
okay. So
sports
I see
almanac,
that.
and then
It's the Back to the Future 2 plot line.
yeah, Back to the Future 2 plot line, on the hunt for Gollum.